Fucking hell. So I've just come back from download. Well, not just come back. Today's Tuesday. Came back on Sunday night after Slipknot because we didn't want to do the traffic on Monday. But since I came back, I woke up the next morning, had sunstroke, and I was fucked in bed all day yesterday, so I couldn't do anything. So today is technically my first day since coming back because I'm actually alive now. But I just wanted to jump on and do a video because I've not done one in ages, and really just go through some notes on my phone of like the whole experience of Download 2023. It was absolutely sick. Went down with my girlfriend after. Well, I've not been to Download for a full weekend since 2017. We went for a day, me and my girlfriend, last year to see Malevolence and Mastodon and Bleed From Within. But after we saw Architects and Bring Me the Horizon announced as the headliners for one of the nights, we booked our tickets and we knew we were going to go. So it was months in anticipation, and finally we went, and honestly couldn't have gone any better. First off, the weather was perfect. Anyone who went knows that, or anyone who lives in the UK knows the weather was brilliant. So hot all the way through, not a cloud in the sky most days. I think, Friday, I think every day, Friday, Saturday and Sunday was just absolutely beaming. So hot. And I was out in that the whole time in pits, and I think that's obviously why when I came home on Monday it all caught up to me, and I was honestly destroyed in bed. I just could not move. Sunstroke is lethal, boys. But the weather was 10 out of 10. I'm just going to run through some of the bands that I saw and some of my favourites, and just sort of give my thoughts on them, because honestly there was a lot of sick bands. I feel like most of the time I am someone who moans about the lineup at Download, I think, because it's always the same shit all the time. Not necessarily bad bands, but it's always the same kind of thing. And this year I felt there's always like new bands at Download, but I feel like this year, obviously with say Bring Me the Horizon, you're bringing in new headliners, and I'll get to Bring Me the Horizon in a bit. But yeah, there was a lot of good bands for me this year, and some that I discovered from the lineup. So the first one being Pupil Slicer. I think they played on the Friday morning or Friday afternoon about 2 o'clock, I think. I only discovered them through when they got announced. I ran through all the bands on the lineup, and I listened to some of them just to see if any of them were to my taste. And Pupil Slicer just sounded sick, and literally a week before Download they brought out the second album, Blossom, which is a really good album. It's one of those albums where when I listened to it in full, it just hit me as like a special album, something that I knew was special. And yeah, I think these days it's rare to it's rare. I feel like there's albums you listen to where you think this is really good, but it's rare for me, or where you get an album where you're like, this is special, like it's beyond really good. It just hits that thing. So they were insane live. They were really good. All the songs translated really well live. Lots of pits, lots of energy from everyone, and they were playing in the tent as well. So got to have a break from being in the sun, and B, it's a lot more chaotic in the tent sometimes. It's more condensed, obviously, and they were just really good all around. So if you get a chance to see Pupil Slicer, definitely do it. Listen to their album Blossom, because it's honestly 10 out of 10. I've been really getting into them lately, and it was a pretty cool run of bands in the tent, because I think immediately after Pupil Slicer, I've put this all on my notes, but I don't know if I've mixed it up a little bit, but whatever. I think straight after Pupil Slicer, or if it wasn't, whatever, but I did see a band in the tent called Witch Fever, female, all female band, female fronted, really good. They've got this sort of like stoner sound, like with the instrumentation, and I did listen to a few of their songs before coming, and I thought they sounded good and everything, but honestly live they sounded way better. And there was something about the vocals, which were just really, I don't know, they were really hitting me. Like they were like super hypnotic. The way she sings, I can't describe it. Like really hypnotic vocals, a lot of emotion in there. Just a really good band to see live and just vibe to. So honestly, check out Witch Fever if you can. I don't know. I know they're supporting another band on a tour that's coming up, because it kept being shown on the screens at the side of the main stage. I'm not sure who they're on tour with, but they are going to be doing a tour in the UK at some point soon. Definitely a band worth checking out. I think, again, I don't even know if this is all in order, but I'm pretty sure straight after Witch Fever it was Undeaf. Yeah, definitely, yeah, it was. Undeaf, which is a death metal band, like classic death metal, like from New York, just straight up ripping, straight up riffs. I discovered them again through the lineup, just checking out bands, and I've, a lot of people who a lot of people who are into this sort of music and this scene will know of the Downbeat podcast, Craig Reynolds, and just literally before Download a few weeks, I saw the vocalist on the Downbeat, so watched that whole episode. It was really good fun. The vocalist seems like a really cool guy. I only got to see 10 minutes of Undeaf because I stayed for 2 songs, because then I had to go get food with my girlfriend and they wanted to go see Pendulum a bit later, which is leading me to be a bit confused because next on my notes is Epica. I can't remember if they were on Friday or Saturday, Epica, but yeah, I'll go in order of my notes, even though it might be skewed, like wrong with the actual lineup. But I've got something about Epica. It was cool to see them because they were a band that I got into when I was 16, roughly. I'm not really big into symphonic metal. One of my ex-partners years ago at school, they were really into it, so that's why I discovered Epica and some of the other bands. But Epica, they just hit a bit different for me compared to other bands in that sort of genre. So it was really cool to see them live. Obviously Simone Simons, great vocalist, great to see that sort of singing live. It's really nice and good chill band to watch, really. So that was really cool. And all of these bands are like bolstered up by the fact that the weather was great. Like honestly, a massive percentage of my enjoyment at Download is the weather. If it was raining the whole time, yeah, the bands would have still played good and I would have still enjoyed it. But honestly, having it be sunny just made everything brilliant. So shout out to Epica. It's great to see them. And then yeah, Pendulum. I can't remember the order of all this, but we went to go see Pendulum on the main stage, and there was a good run of bands on the main stage. Mostly my girlfriend wanted to see them. That was like their most anticipated band other than Bring Me the Horizon. So went to go see them. I'm not too familiar with Pendulum, but you know, again, going back to the weather was really good. They're a party kind of band, you know, that electronic vibe, really great for a festival, really great to have that. Like I think their slot was really good, having them just before the second to top and the headliner, really good, really got everyone amped. And honestly, the pits and the energy that everyone was given was honestly maybe the highest during Pendulum. Like people were really enjoying that, so that was cool to see. And yeah, there was a great live band, obviously, you know, with the genre and the sound they have. And I know they did Sorry You're Not a Winner remix with Rao Reynolds last year or something at Reading and Leeds. So and then they said, oh, we're bringing out a guest, and I was like, oh, fucking hell, it's going to be Rao Reynolds. But no, they brought out Matt Tuck because they've got a new song with him, so that was really sick. Because yeah, Matt Tuck from Bullet for My Valentine were the first band that I got into when it comes to metal. So to see him again on stage was really cool, even if it was just for a quick 2-3 minute song. I've not seen Bullet for My Valentine live since I literally don't know, like 2013 or something. It's been a long time. So to see Matt Tuck on stage again, that was really cool. Next up, literally my favourite band of all time, Architects. I don't know what to say really. It was great. You know, they open with Nihilists. That's really special for me. All Our Gods Have Abandoned Us is my favourite album of all time, and they open with that. It's a special song to me, special album. They didn't play any others off that album, but you know, honestly, I know people give a lot of slack to the latest album, Classic Symptoms of a Broken Spirit, but there's 2 songs on there which they do play. Well, they played 3, but there's 2 in particular for me, which I was really excited to see live, and they did hit really well. And that's Tear Gas and Deep Fake. Those songs were great live, really good festival vibes with those ones. And yeah, they played. What else did they play? They played Royal Beggars. That was cool. Impermanence is always a good one. You know, with the Do You Really Want to Live Forever part. So that was sick. Yeah, they sounded really good. I don't know. I know that Josh, the guitarist, left the band recently, and I don't know who was filling in. I don't know if it's a session musician or if it's the new permanent guitarist. If anyone watches this and knows by some small chance, let me know, because I've been trying to find out who the new guitarist is, if that's the permanent guy. So yeah, Architects were ripping. Sam's Sparkly Trousers were 10 out of 10. Would see again. Love it. Can't wait for another arena tour. Bring Me the Horizon, fucking hell. They headlined Friday night, and I've got to say, Bring Me the Horizon was the best set of the weekend by far. It was absolutely insane. I was blown away. Like I was tearing up at multiple times just because of the scale and like the care that went into their set. It was amazing. It wasn't just, you know, this set wasn't just watching music. It wasn't just a band playing the songs you like live. It was way more than that. There was a storyline. There was insane 3D visuals. This, like I said, there was a storyline that the set changed. Not just the set as in the music set, the visuals all changed throughout the whole 2 hours or whatever it was. Constantly changing how things look. All the 3D visuals when they played Shadow Moses, for example, and there was like snow coming down, and it just looked incredible. And the pyrotechnics, and before they came on, they appeared on the screens at the side of the stage, and were doing like a message to download, and it all played into this narrative and this story, and it was really, really special. I don't think I've ever seen a band play live that brought that kind of level of production. When you think of insane stage production and stage presence and everything in that package, I think to Slipknot, classically, I feel like Bring Me the Horizon have sort of like taken it to a whole new level now. And the thing that's really great is that they're a new headlining band. They're coming through, they're headlining festivals now more and more. This is their first download that they're headlining. And the fact that it was their first one and they put on this level of a show, like, there's no way that they won't be back. And I was really just proud to see the show that they put on. I've been a fan of them since I was a teenager, and honestly, they took things to a whole new level. So if you were there, if you weren't, just go on YouTube, watch some clips, and fucking hell. And something I've got to say about Bring Me the Horizon that I just love Ollie Sykes' stage presence. I love his banter. I love that he just calls the crowd pussy holes and all this shit. It's brilliant. It's fucking amazing. A great live band. They're doing a tour in January. That's been announced. Buy tickets for that. It will be 10 out of 10. I can't fucking wait. I can't wait for the new album as well, Posthuman 2. Is it called? Or Next Gen. So that's going to be sick. There's probably a few bands I've missed off this list. I just did some quick notes. But next one, Saturday. Wasn't too many bands on Saturday that were for me. But one was Stray from the Path. Missed the start of the set, unfortunately. But yeah, I got to see the last 15 minutes. I wanted to see them. I mean, I like some of their songs. I'm not like a big fan. But again, I mentioned earlier about the Downbeat podcast. Craig Reynolds, he's the drummer in Stray from the Path, and he does that podcast. So I kind of wanted to go just to see him and his drumming, and a few of the songs that I do know. I did make the unwise decision of handstanding into a pit, and I fell on my arm, and I've got a massive fucking... I thought I'd sprained it. I couldn't really move it for the rest of the day, but luckily it's just come out in a big purple bruise now. So I'm looking at it now. It's looking a bit gnarly, but not a sprain, nothing too bad. And after a couple of ibuprofen, we're back on the grind, so it was all good. So yeah, Straight from the Path, love to see them again. I know they're touring as well, so this is the thing when you go to download. You're watching all these bands, and then in between they're showing all the tours on the screens that have just been announced, and you think, fucking hell, I've got to pay for like loads of shit. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be burning a hole in the old wallet. But I think that was it for Saturday, really. I've probably forgotten. There probably was sets that I enjoyed on the Saturday. I know we saw Alter Bridge from quite far back because my girlfriend likes them, and so that was cool. There's a lot of cool bands that I enjoyed, but I didn't go to see them. And there was a lot of bands we just chilled and watched at the back, and it's nice having that contrast where, because if you loved every band that played, you'd be non-stop rushing around to every stage, like having to get involved. Because I love getting involved with the bands that I love. It's nice having a few that you don't care about too much, so you can just sit and chill and enjoy them in a different kind of way. And that's kind of what bands like Alter Bridge were for me. Next on the list is Lorna Shore on the Sunday. This is one of the most anticipated for me of the whole weekend. They were fucking sick. I've been listening... I mean, I first listened to Lorna Shore in about 2017 when I was on a massive deathcore grind. And then I just stopped listening to them. And obviously they've blown up in a massive way since they've had Will join the band. And, they released To the Hellfire and that EP and their latest album. So, been looking forward to seeing them live for a long time. It was fucking sick. He sounds amazing live. Like, he's incredible. The whole band sounds incredible. Just the drums, the vocals, the guitars. It's just ripping, honestly. It sounds perfect live. Like, you'd think, fucking hell, there's no way they could pull it off. But they do. Sounds brilliant. I did a couple of crowd surfs during Pain Remains 1 and 2. Recorded one of them. If I was a bit more savvy with all this tech shit, I'd put it on the video. Maybe I'll work it all out and do it at some point. But that was cool. I was debating it because I wasn't going to crowd surf during like To the Hellfire because I was trying to like stay in the pit and in a good area to watch. So I thought I'll save it for the last couple of songs. So I did it then, and I thought, do I risk my phone? And I said, fuck it, I've got to do it. So that's a sick video to have a good memory of me crowd surfing over and recording it. That was really good. And there was this other funny moment as well where this guy crowd surfed over and I was like, we were helping him push over, and I noticed he had zip pockets as he went over, and it was fucking open, and I don't know if it was his phone or his wallet, but it was like half hanging out, and I was like, oh my fucking god, I was shitting myself for him. Reached up, zipped his pocket up for him mid crowd surf, and he fucking saw me and just like thanked me as he went over. So I might have saved some guy's life there. That was pretty cool. So that's a funny memory. And I've just been going back and watching Lorna Shore clips on YouTube. Well, loads of bands clips on YouTube, and I did see myself on a Lorna Shore video that some guy recorded, so that's cool. The last one on the list is Slipknot, but I've just remembered Behemoth. I've seen Behemoth once before when they supported Slipknot in 2019, so I saw them on Sunday. They played on main stage at about 3 o'clock, and that was really cool. I'm a fan, but I'm not overly familiar with the songs. But they're one of those bands where it's a spectacle. It's cool to see them play live. Visually, it looks amazing. It sounds brilliant. They play really well. They got great stage presence, and it's just Dark Souls as fuck, innit? You know, it's one of those bands. So Behemoth, they were great. And then the last one I've got is Slipknot. So I don't know what to say about Slipknot. You get what you get with Slipknot. It was great. They played a lot of great songs. They played some that they said they've not played for a long time, which is cool. Songs like Left Behind. They played Snuff live, which I've never heard. I've seen Slipknot a few times over the years, and I can't say that they've ever played that live. So that was cool to play. It was different. Cool for a festival, you know, everyone singing along and stuff. What else did they play? I know they played like Eyeless. They played Unsainted, which is maybe my favourite Slipknot song. I love We Are Not Your Kind, like the whole album. I love it. And Unsainted is a really special song for me. So glad they played that live. Obviously they did spit it out at the end, and they jumped the fuck up. And I was saying, because I don't know if anyone agrees with this or not, but I'm not a fan. Like, I think the whole jump the fuck up thing is so overdone by bands these days. Like, every band comes on and they want, oh, everyone get down on the floor, and I'm like, fucking hell. The only band who I can respect it for is Slipknot, because they're the OGs. They're the ones who started it. Do you know what I mean? So when Slipknot are doing Jump the Fuck Up, it's all good. It's actually sick. But when a band comes on and like in their first song they're like, oh, everyone get on the floor, I'm thinking, fucking hell no. Got back problems from being stood up all week, and you're trying to get me down every 2 seconds. So Slipknot are the OGs. That's what I can say about that. Great stage production. The only thing I say about him is because they obviously do the curtain reveal for Slipknot, don't they? Like, I know a few bands do a curtain reveal, but Slipknot, they have like the sickest one in my mind. And I was proper hyping it up to my girlfriend, because I've seen the curtain reveal where they start playing behind the curtain. Like in 2013 when I saw him at Download, they've started playing Disaster Piece behind the curtain, and then it comes down and you just see them all playing and everything goes off and it looks insane. But I hyped it up loads to my girlfriend like they were going to do that, and then they didn't. It kind of just, the curtain just came down out of nowhere, and then they just started playing like a couple of minutes after. So it didn't really have the same effect. It didn't have that like, holy fuck. Because when they're playing behind the curtain and then, you know, the breakdown kicks in, or some fucking mad riff section, and you see them all playing and you see everyone up on the things, you're like, fucking hell, you don't know where to look, and it's crazy. But yeah, Slipknot were great. Like I said, played some songs I've not heard for a while, and it's just Slipknot in it. So anytime you get the opportunity to see them, I say go for it. And hopefully they do an arena tour, because they're one of those bands. When Slipknot, I don't listen to them loads, but when they come around, I've got to see them. So yeah, that's all the notes I've got on my phone. Like I said, Weather was 10 out of 10. I did pay the price for it on Monday with Sunstroke. The bands that I saw were 10 out of 10. I had a great experience. It's one of those things where when I came home and I thought, why have I not been to Download for 5 years, or for a weekend for 5 years? The camping experience was great. We're not fucking crazy or anything, like getting fucked off our heads or anything, but it's just a great experience camping. We were fucking loving eating all the food, having a few drinks here and there, doing whatever. It was great. It was brill. I had a great time. Definitely going to go next year, if the lineup's good, obviously. And I just wanted to jump on and just give my thoughts. So check out some of those bands that I mentioned. They were all sick. If anyone else is watching this and you went to Download, then let me know your thoughts on your experience and how it was. And yeah, that's about it. I'll try and do another video soon, but I don't know, when something comes up and I really want to chat about it, I'll do a video, but until then, yeah, we'll just see. But thanks for watching if you did. If you went to Download, let me know what your favourite bands were and everything, and I'll see you on the next one. See you in a bit, mate.